Hi, this is Sue Jackson of the Book by Book blog, and I'm here with another Friday Reads. As you can see, I've decorated a little bit for the holidays. Halloween is one of my favorite times of year. Our house is all decorated, and I just miss when my kids were little, and trick-or-treating is just like the ultimate when you have kids. I mean, kids just get so excited, and it's amazing running around the neighborhood, dressed in costumes, dividing up the loot afterwards. I do miss that, but still enjoying Halloween and, of course, enjoying Halloween spooky reading. This week, I actually am reading two different books dealing with ghosts. See the ghost over my shoulder? So, first in print, I'm reading The Hotel Never Sink by Adam O'Fallon Price. This is a very ghosty story. I picked this book out for my husband as a gift a few years ago. That's where a lot of my books come from, the ones I give to him. I think, if I recall correctly, this one won the Edgar Award for Best Original Paperback, I think, a few years ago. I think it was published around 2019. Okay. So I'm not too far into this yet. I planned for this to be my last book of October. I've been doing the R.I.P challenge for September and October, Readers Imbibing Peril, and I really wanted something ghosty and spooky for the last week of October leading up to Halloween. So far this is fitting the bill. It takes place at a hotel in the Catskills in New York State, up on a hill, and my husband and I love that area in the Catskills. I don't know 100% what the book is about yet, but it's got a very interesting organization. Each chapter is named for a different person and a different time. So each chapter, you get a different person's perspective. And the time moves forward from 1950 all the way to 2012 at the end. So I've only read the first few chapters. It begins with the daughter of the man who bought the hotel and started running it as a hotel. It was originally built as a mansion by a wealthy man. And you get different people's perspectives. Now, right off the bat, in that first chapter, a child goes missing. And there is a little inkling, a little sighting of what seems to be a ghost. So I'm not that far into it yet, but it's going to build on itself generation by generation, chapter by chapter, as time moves on and the narrators change, which I'm really looking forward to. And I'm in the third chapter now, and there's some mention that another child's gone missing. So I think things are going to ramp up here. I know ghosts are involved. And so far, I'm really enjoying The Hotel Never Sink by Adam O'Fallon Price. My book on audio is also a very wonderfully ghosty story. It's called Dennis Ever After by Tony Abbott. I've read one of his books before that I really enjoyed, and so far I am loving this one. It's middle grade, and it's about identical twin boys, and when the boys were 7, one of them was killed. And the novel starts out with the boy that was killed 5 years later. He is in kind of an interim place called Port Harbor, where spirits kind of hang around until they are ready to move on. And Port Harbor seems like just a very pleasant oceanside town. And he's met up with his great-grandmother there, Gigi. So Dennis and Gigi are in Port Harbor. Now, there are ways that the dead can kind of peek in on the living. When Dennis does this, he sees that his twin, Matt, has not gotten over his death. It's been 5 years, but his brother seems to be actually obsessed with what happened to Dennis. Now, Dennis's death is still a mystery to the police, to the family. All we know at the beginning is that he was found in the Gettysburg Park, which is very close to where I live. His body was left at the Monument for Georgia at Gettysburg. That's all anybody really knows. So Matt has gotten a hold of the police report. He's looking through maps. He is trying to figure out, he's obsessed with figuring out what happened to Dennis. And as Dennis peeks in on his family, he sees that his mother and father have not moved on either. They are both, they're arguing all the time. Things just seem really bad with his family. And this is upsetting to him, and he kind of feels like he can't move on until his family moves on. So even though it can be really harmful and painful for his spirit to be seen by the living, Dennis does that and shows himself to Matt. From there, the story moves on as Dennis, who's dead, and his twin brother, Matt, who's alive, are kind of investigating his death, his murder, and trying to find out what happened. Dennis doesn't remember it. So I am loving this book so far. It's really well written. It's emotionally complex. The characters are interesting. I love the view of Port Harbor and Dennis hanging out with his great-grandmother, who he didn't really know in life. And I'm just really enjoying Dennis Ever After by Tony Abbott. And that's it for me this week. That's what I'm reading this Halloween week. I would love to hear what you're planning to read this weekend. Let me know in the comments down below.